There we go. Welcome to the 2023 BMW X3 M40i all-wheel drive. It is many, many things, not all of them on the badge, but most of them. We're in sport mode, sport individual. This is the brand new, latest and greatest version of the BMW X3. This is the third gen, post mid-cycle refresh. Third gen's been out a little bit. They just did a mid-cycle refresh last year, and this is the 2023 model. It is very BMW, no surprise there. The gauges that do the clockwise and counterclockwise spins, that takes some getting used to if you're not used to it already. All of the interface is stuff that we've known, iDrive and those kind of things that are all very good. Heads-up display is excellent. All the things that you expect from BMW that they have been doing well for a little while are in here. Then you get into other questions like, do you like the styling? That's going to be a personal choice. They're obviously leaning really into the beaver teeth right now. Of course, the dual clutch is gone at BMW, so we've got this 8-speed automatic they're putting in everything, which does respond very quickly to the paddles. The interesting part of this, though, is that this is the same 40i engine you find other places, like the M240i that we really like, where it had a ton of power, but it's also the same engine you find in the GR Supra. This is a 3-liter straight-six turboed engine from BMW that does 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, which in every single place we've found it is a lot of power. When I have a moment, I will show you. I don't want to break the double yellow line. I want to be a very, very good boy. Did you lose the plot there for a second? Why did we drift that far out of the lane? Here we go. That is quite easy to reach high speeds. Yeah, no effort was expended there to make that happen. As we've seen elsewhere, it's a very powerful engine. It has what feels like instant torque because the torque band on this is from about 1800 RPM. So that essentially means idle and up, you have all your power available. So it has that electric car feel. But the other reason it has that is because this version has the 48-volt hybrid system, which is essentially a 48-volt alternator that you're seeing other places. Mercedes is doing it, other people are doing it. It's not that uncommon at this point, but it is significant that it's in this X3. And so as a result of having that, that is the thing that smooths out your lower RPM and actually makes this feel more like the surge of an electric vehicle. I'm in sport individual right now. Of course, I could go into comfort mode. First thing you notice is it gets quieter. And of course, yes, the ride gets softer as well. Everything just chills out quite a bit. Ah, a deer in front of the Camry. Deer crossing the road. This is a fantastic, genuinely fantastic Utah phenomenon. First sunny day we've had in a few, so the deer are out. That's a little one. Hello, little one. Okay, that's very cool. Okay, I'm going to go back into sport. Down into first gear. Here we go. And it still hunts for higher gears, chasing gas mileage as soon as it gets you to the instant speed you wanted to go. This does do the good thing where whatever mode you were in when you turned it off, it gives you that mode when you turn it back on, which is very nice. But I do have to admit that there's a difference between these modes. I mean, as soon as I hit that comfort button, I can feel the whole car kind of relax and settle down. You can definitely hear you can definitely feel the suspension change. You can definitely feel just everything gets a little more like it exhales is the best way to describe it. More body roll, a looser setup than, of course, sport mode has. If I go back into sport, well, the engine announces itself. But let's not kid ourselves. You get into sport mode, there's no steering feel no matter what mode you're in. That is the modern BMW feel. It's mute at the steering wheel. The difficulty changes a little bit, but the information is exactly the same. This definitely feels like the little brother to that X5M we drove a little over a year ago, and that thing was kind of a world beater. It was amazing how that shouldn't have been nearly as fast as it was. Here this is with about a 4.5 second 0 to 60, which, let's all be honest, is lightning quick in general, let alone for a 5-seat mid-sized family SUV. I know technically this is considered a compact alongside the Macan and things of that nature, but at the same time, they keep getting bigger like they all do, so this isn't really small anymore, but my lord is it fast. 4.5 seconds 0 to 60 is probably faster than this ever needed to go, and yet that's what we can do. We'll just do that again real quick, shall we? Let's see. There it is. That was me easing into full throttle in the midst of first gear because it is winter time. We're on winter tires. In case you haven't noticed, there's a little bit of snow, so trying to do some burnout-ridden 0 to 60 is not something I really wanted to endeavor on today, but at the same time, here we are proving this is, it's not slow. It's definitely not slow. I'm going to go back into comfort because I'm chasing a dump truck, so yeah. Fast driving is going to go away in a minute. I'm also curious about these turns a little more in comfort, because obviously in sport the body control was excellent in spite of no information. In comfort, I would say the cornering feels just about like any other SUV you've driven. It's fine. You get the proper tires and decent driving on your normal SUV, and you put it in a corner and it feels okay at the speed you're going to go. It's when you go into sport in this that it really tightens up and feels athletic in a way that most SUVs will not. He looks like the kind of guy that would throw rocks. Not on purpose, I understand, but it looks pretty likely. With the 48-volt assist and with this already very powerful motor, what this does is just constantly deliver performance and power. It doesn't deliver engagement, but in a world of 5-seat SUVs that are all kind of the same and none of them are engaging, this is in the upper 10% of engaging drives. But what are you looking for? If you're looking for an engaging drive first, this is a whole category you can't really shop, even though this is in the category of things like the Genesis GV70 or the Porsche Macan. I mean, it's close to those as far as engagement feel. I don't like it as much as those, but it is very close to that in feel and engagement. It is also similar to those in cost. Actually, this is a little bit cheaper than both of those. You load out the Genesis GV70, it's going to be close to 70 grand. This was about 65, 67. So we're in a similar place. Of course, the Macan is going to be every bit of that and maybe more, because when you start checking boxes at Porsche, the numbers get scary. These X3s start in the high $40,000. This interior feels really good for about the 50 grand range. When you get close to 70, you start to think, is this nice enough? But that is just what cars like this cost now. The problem is the option sheet. You start checking options. This has special paint and it has all of the M things. And so as a result, it gets close to 70. This is an excellent execution of what BMW does very well right now, and that is it takes things that shouldn't drive well, that are too heavy to drive well, and it makes them perform wonderfully. The engagement, there's no rawness here. There's really very little engagement, but it drives excellent. You could road trip. You can be satisfied by the fact that it has performance when you're on a slight back road. You could do everything you wanted to do in a midsize SUV right here in the X3 if you're willing to pay for it, if you're a BMW fan, and if you want some performance in that category. There's not a lot of great options. This is certainly one of them. I mean, alternatively, you could be in that Buick, and in that case, I'll be here. Thank you. Yay.